Hello folks, Son in here, bringing you another match from the Naaium 1 vs 1 tournament. This time we're once again heading off to the Green Tooth Jungle Redux, with Toilailee playing the Inquisitor for the Imperial Guard, and Ferik Jurgen playing the Chaos Lord, and of course the Chaos Space Marines. Quite looking forward to this one. Seems like we're having another case of players not being particularly used to this Redux map just yet, so it'll be interesting to see how they're going to be handling this unfamiliar environment compared to what they might be used to. It's been kind of odd watching this tournament and actually realizing that a lot of players don't really know this one. Personally, I tend to play a lot with friends, and we do like this particular map. So yeah, I can imagine if you're playing a lot of ranked, you're not gonna know this one particularly well. Still though, let's see if someone's going to be making some strange decisions here, or if we're going to have a right proper slug here regardless. Looks like a pretty darn standard opening for both players. Bit of a difference in regards to which resources they are both going for first. Which does seem to make sense. The Chaos faction in particular tends to go for early requisition a fair bit earlier, and then wait a little with getting the power node in order to either get out the early, usually in order to get out an early second Chaos Space Marine squad, but there's no guarantee we're actually going to see two of them. Still though, Toilailee is doing something rather peculiar in regard to build orders here. It's been a while since I actually seen this build order, ever since Sentinels ended up getting a fairly hefty nerf to their stomp range, so it'll be interesting to see how Toilailee gets this working. That said though, knowing Toilailee, it's probably one of the he's definitely one of the players I can imagine actually getting that to work, so it'll be very interesting to see how it goes. Hammer of the Witch is hitting the Chaos Space Marines, but it's not enough to bring down a model loss, and you're gonna have to get away without incident. Still though, this particular double Sentinel build is going to be rather tricky for Ferik to deal with, seeing how he's decided to go for double Heretics. He really needs some kind of range damage to seriously deal with these particular beasties here. Just dumping the Chaos Lord and shooting down these poor Heretics, trying to finish off the cap. There's the second storm going on, killing another model, and the Sentinel just starts decapping the power node there. And at the same time actually making sure that his Sentinel is still facing the Chaos Lord, and both of them are actually still firing. Very nice play there. Ferik kind of misses the kill the weak ability on the Chaos Lord, only hitting a single model. He is gonna start getting to a rather precarious situation if this keeps up. Upgrade finishes on the Imperial Guardsman, giving him a bit more DACA in order to force him off, and he does go off pretty nice. But there's the flank from the Heretics, completely circumventing the double Sentinels, and they are going to get a fair bit of chopping going on before the stumps go down. But they are not able to really get anything done aside from a single model kit, and they are being forced out of there as well. Certainly a rather difficult situation for Chaos to deal with at the moment, and it'll be interesting to see if his new investment here is going to make a particular difference. Toilailee is definitely not the kind of player to charge in the Sentinels into the line of fire of these guys. It's not necessary, so very interesting to see. Still though, they are taking a little damage, but at this range, really not going to be doing all that much. Still though, it does look like Toilailee is actually going to try and weather this fire, but now one of the Sentinels is taking a ton of damage from this Chaos Space Marine squad flanking, but they are being forced out of there after taking a model loss. But those Guardsmen are just repairing the hell out of that Sentinel, and they actually end up doing so much damage that Ferik feels he has to retreat the Havocs before they actually take any model loss, and it does look like he is barely getting out of there without any such losses taken. That said, one of the Heretic squads now has the grenade launcher up, which is going to be pretty dangerous for Toilailee to deal with, both in regards to having so many Imperial Guardsmen, and of course it's going to make the strategy of holding your ground and repairing a fair bit more difficult to pull off, as you'll also need to keep on the move in order to minimize the impact that those grenade launchers can actually have. Make no mistake, those things can be pretty damn powerful when they get direct hits, and there's the ability. but it does look like it's gonna be missing. Looks like one of the grenades actually detonated a bit prematurely. Ferik has also decided to go for the combi flamer, giving him a lot more ranged damage whenever he's chasing, which should help out in dealing with these things. That said, the Inquisitor is flanking. She does have the Holy Brazier out, which is gonna be quite problematic to deal with indeed. It can't do a ton of damage, but she does overextend, and down she goes. That said, the entire Chaos army is forced to flee at this point, and the Chaos Lord probably isn't going to get all that much done. I think he's going to try and get a bit of a flamer ability on there. Yeah, and there it is, but yeah, at this point he's going to have to get out of there. He's not going to use the Chaos Lord. That said, one thing is that Chaos is actually a fair bit ahead in regards to power. On the other hand, the Imperial Guard pretty much hasn't used their power yet, seeing with only the upgrade on the Inquisitor actually costing any power. But still, I do believe Ferik definitely has an advantage in power income, and as things are currently, he should be getting to tier 2 a bit faster, although it's gonna be close. Once again, a very difficult ranged blob to deal with here. Pretty much nothing can actually stand up to that kind of field of fire in the early tier 1, and yeah, he's just getting stunned again, and once again missing with the kill the weak ability, which is of course meaning he's gonna have to get out of there, especially before the Inquisitor comes into range of either using her Hammer of the Witches or just getting a hit in with that Brazier on retreat. That could end up very, very bad for him indeed. You might be seeing an ability. Yeah, there's the Brazier ability, being a decent amount of AoE damage right there. At the same time, there's some very nice use of this. Looks like Toilailee was taking quite a visit to these Sentinels. Took a lot of damage getting off the stomp on the Havoc, but he does succeed to make it retreat once again, and he is pretty much dominating map control at this point. There's the grenades coming off again though. He's gonna Toilailee is gonna have to be very careful. This Chaos Lord is really quite dangerous with his pistol thing here. He's gonna try and get into melee combat. There's the flamer, and instantly burning 3 or 4 guardsman models down, easily forcing them all. That said, the Chaos Lord is having to run at this point. These Chaos Heretics just cannot stand up to this kind of abuse. The Havoc's in position though, which is going to make it a fair bit more dangerous. The guardsmen are pretty much immobilized at this point. Look, wow, those guys are just actually exploding at this point, and the entire squad actually goes down. The first squad wipe in the entire game. Still though, Chaos is still very much pushed into a corner, only having a single requisition point and most of their power farms intact. Pretty much standing on the same level as Toilailee. Oh, looks like he was a bit mistaken in regards to when he wanted to move these guys. Just wanted to get the decap off, I guess. And I don't know if you managed to notice that, but it looks like the Inquisitor actually managed to shoot down the gunner of this Havoc squad while she was getting into range, just about desetting her up enough time for her to get into melee range and actually tie them up. Toilailee is a fair bit ahead in regards to taking to tier 2, although Ferik is now also heading in the same direction. It'll be very interesting to see how this pans out, as honestly both Imperial Guard and Chaos have very powerful tier 2s, with arguably Chaos is probably the one with who benefits the most from it, in the regard that they don't really have the desire to go tier 3 a lot of the time, whereas the Imperial Guard definitely benefits from that in longer games. That said though, the map control from the Imperial Guard is definitely taking its toll at this at the moment. There's a massive difference in victory points at this stage, with Toilailee at a whopping 480 victory points at this stage against 143 for Ferik. It's going to be very hard for Ferik to recover from this, although he is trying to get his various squads to cap the victory points away from the main action. It's definitely going to be a problem to deal with. It looks like we're actually seeing a Bane Wolf call in from Toilailee, now burning down this power farm extremely quickly. Even with the increase to cost, which meant that the Bane Wolf wasn't really used all that much ever since it got nerfed in that regard. It's still incredibly efficient at burning down power farms, as we just saw. We're just gonna leave Ferik with very few options in regards to upgrades and advanced squads. Not to mention, he's gonna need some anti-vehicle squad of sorts against that Bane Wolf, as it's gonna absolutely wreck his heretic squads. Bit of a melee storm here with the Imperial Guard against the heretics here. Heretics getting stomped, and they are gonna have to get right on out of there. Well, while it looked like the heretics were actually winning pretty handily, but then the Imperial Guardsmen in squad in question got a commissar who's both a relatively decent melee combatant. He's not great by any means, don't get me wrong, but he did add 2 more squad members who pretty much turned the battles in our favor. Looks like the Chaos Havoc did upgrade to the Mark of Corn in an attempt to, well, pretty much be able to at least deal damage to everything on the field. It's a pretty interesting position, and to be honest, the whole suppression thing really wasn't doing anything for him, so I can definitely understand the reasoning behind this. Still, he's definitely not going to be killing this Bane Wolf with this on its own, unless Toilailee really messes up with it. So it's going to be interesting to see how he's actually going to deal with that. Still though, Chaos is very much getting pushed back into the base, and Toilailee is pretty much just absolutely dominated at this stage, actually using his Bane Wolf in order to try and take out one of these defensive turrets, which is going to open even more harassment. I don't really think it matters at this point, seeing how Toilailee is very close to victory at this point, and it's very unlikely that Ferik can both beat back this attack and actually decap at least 2 victory points in order to stop the income bleed. That said, he does manage to get another full kill there on the Guardsman, with a single Guardsman squad now having to repair 3 different vehicles. This is going to make it very difficult for Toilailee to actually... well, it would make Toilailee's ability to keep a field presence very difficult, but of course, as the counter ticks down, we are going to be seeing a 1-0 for Toilailee after a very short and very brutal first game. GG to both players, and we will be right back. Actually gonna see if we can't get Keltos on the line as well, so hang tight folks.